Why should I buy? I was speaking to someone today and they were like, I've never bought before, my parents never bought before, why should I buy? And I found it quite an interesting question and I thought we could explore this. Hi, my name's Manda and I'm the mortgage coach, and I believe everyone has a right to own their own home, property, place, investment, whatever you like to call it. And today, it's not going to be long because it's so hot today. I don't know about you guys, but I am melting. So it is going to be a short video. But I just wanted to talk about the why. Yeah? Because at the end of the day, when you're getting a mortgage, you need to sort out your credit report. You need to sort out your bank statements. You need to get yourself a job. You need to save a deposit. It's a lot of work to put that key in that door and actually own that property. And for me, that was all it took. But for a lot of other people, and I've been speaking to quite a few people, they have a different opinion. Now, there are a lot of people out there that they will be the first generation to buy their own property. There's a lot of people that come from abroad, and the mentality there, I know especially in New York, is you always rent, you don't buy. So why buy? I remember when I bought my first property, and this was back when I was 22, and it was a lot less to invest. But the amount of money I put down the deposit on my flat was basically the amount of money that someone spent on buying their car. And they were like, why would you even buy? You know, they were happy living at home with their parents, and they could have a nice car and they could drive around. Why was it so important to me? And I realised then that I wanted to have something that was mine. I wanted to put the key in the door and I wanted to have my own space, know that it was mine, you know? To me, it was just such an achievement to have got that. Now, none of my peers bought when I did. I think the next person who bought somewhere was probably about 6 or 7 years later. So they were still sort of, 27, 28, so still young. It wasn't like they were old or anything. But for me, everybody was just like, at 22, you should be going out, you should be partying, you should be maybe traveling. A lot of my friends after university went traveling. Why did I buy? And for me, it was important to own a property. And I think, when I think about my parents, my mum came over here from abroad, and I'm Irish Jamaican, and it was very important for her to buy a property, and so she did that. My dad also thought it was very important to buy property, and I suppose that's where I got my inspiration from, seeing my parents do it. But what makes someone whose parents never bought, they rented their whole life, decide to buy? I was watching a video earlier, and this lady was saying about how her parents came over from Nigeria, they got themselves a council place, and her mum didn't see why they should buy. They've got a council flat, the rent is very, very reasonable, they earn good money, the money they earn, they want to send back home to help their family. They didn't think of buying. But for her, it was very important to buy, and not only buy, but buy a flat and then buy more flats to invest. Like, as you guys know, with my story, I bought my first flat and then I bought my second one when I was 27, and I've been a landlord over 20 years. But why? I mean, at the end of the day, it makes financial sense. And I suppose being coming from an accounting background, because I've been an accountant for the last 20 years, I'm not practicing at the moment. Obviously, I'm a mortgage advisor, but I've still got that mindset. But I just believe that, can't rely on a state pension. It's good to actually own somewhere. But what I want to get the crux of, and I'm hoping anyone listening to this video does put comments in, but what makes you decide to buy your own home? What is your why? What turns the switch for you to say that you can do it? There's a lot of people out there, and I've had conversations, and they've lived in their council place for years, and they're like, yeah, I got my right to buy offer letter, but I'm not going to use it, and I can't understand why. And they're like, how could someone like me own my own property? And that really upsets me, because anyone can own their own property. The things that limit you from owning your own property is your beliefs. You can save a deposit. I can teach you how to do that. You can get your bank statements sorted. You can get out of your overdraft. You can improve your credit score. I can teach you how to do all of that. I run a program called Get Mortgage Ready that does that. But you have to have the belief. You have to believe that you have a right to own your own home. And that's something, another course I also offer within the Get Mortgage Ready Club. How, you know, I don't quite know how to explain it, but I really genuinely, it really upsets me and I really get annoyed when people say either to themselves or to others, you can't own somewhere because of where you're from or your background, or because your parents never owned, or you never went to university, or it's a whole matter of reasons. Yeah, I think it's a determination thing. I think you need to get out of your own way and say, I can do it, I just don't know how. Now, if you come to me and you say, I can, I want to, but I just don't know how, I will help you. I've got Get Mortgage Ready Boot Camp, which is free, 3 days at the end of every month. I've got the paid membership, which is a longer program, which helps get you ready. But at the end of the day, it's all about how, not about why. Once you break down the why and realize you can do it, you just need help. Everybody needs help. Yeah? It doesn't belittle you at all. No one is born knowing everything. But you have to reach out and you have to say, who can help me? And don't get me wrong, you may not want to do my Get Mortgage Ready boot camp or follow on with the membership, the club. You may want to just watch the YouTube videos that are available that give you the free information. You may want hand holding. It depends what level of care that you want. But please don't say you don't have a right or you can't buy your own home. Because there's always, as my mum always says, if there's a will, there's a way. So today, I want you to seriously think about why. Why do you want to buy your own home? Or more importantly, why do you think you can't? Why do you think you can't buy your own property? There are so many people that have done it. I remember when I was learning to drive and I failed my driving test, I didn't give up. I was like, do you know what? I'm determined. And you visualise, why do you want the driving test? Is it the prestige? Is it the fact that you don't have to wait for the bus? Is it the fact that you don't have to walk everywhere? But at the end of the day, once you discover your why, then you can do it. Yeah? So that's what my message is tonight. You need to think about what's important to you. And as another thing I've been told, and I think this is really important, stop comparing yourself with others. Decide what you want and go for it. If it takes you a little bit longer, like with my driving test, I never tell people how many times I retook that test. I never tell people how long it took me to be qualified as chartered accountant. It is none of anybody's business. You just do it at your own pace. You decide what's important to you and you go for it. You don't need to tell people how long it took. You don't need to tell people how many people that you asked for help. You just get it done. And you know what? I'll tell you a little secret. Once you've done it, no one cares. So you drive, end of. No one asks you how many times you pass. You're a chartered accountant. Fine. No one asks you how many exams that you had to repeat more than once. Seriously, no one cares. If you own, if you don't own, they don't care. But you will. You really will. I mean, a couple of years ago when I got made redundant and I didn't have money for a while, we're in the middle of COVID, the fact that I had passive income from my rental property meant I could sleep at night. And the other thing is that really, really annoys me is people's age. They hear my story about buying at 22 and they're like, oh, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm 60. I can't afford to buy. You can. You really, really can. Age is nothing but a number. People are living longer and longer all the time. So it's really, really worth looking into it. I just did a mortgage for someone who's retired, but it really doesn't matter your age, your circumstances. If you want to do it, then it may take a little bit longer. You may have to put more work in. There may be things that you need to work on, but you can do it. And please don't compare yourself to others. Just decide what you want. If it's important for you to buy your own property, then do it. Reach out, ask for help, find a mentor, find a course, watch YouTube videos, make notes, read a book, whatever medium works for you. But don't ever say that you can't. Thanks. My name's Amanda Walker and I've really enjoyed talking with you tonight. Take care.